Okay, so you can tell I was outside because my glasses haven't adjusted to inside yet because my glasses do the sunglasses thing when I go outside. Okay, so I know that this channel called Comic Pop does the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that's why I'm doing this. I haven't always wanted to try this, but I want to try to do different kinds of things, and again, I don't own the good, the bad, and the ugly. Of course, I do own that kind of, like, technically they do own it. But this is more of a parody. Um, so if you don't know what they do for good, the bad, and the ugly, they have other series too. There's a lot of them. I recommend you to check out their channel if you like comics or you want to get into comics. I mean, while you're here, unless you're here from my live stream, which why would you be here specifically? But anyways, they unite comics under a theme or a creator or anything or character, yeah, whatever, yada 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 yada, whatever. And then they review them, tell what's in the story, and then they say what's their good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, the one downside to this is that I'm only one person. They have three or four people when they're reviewing their books. But, I mean, you don't have to, have people. My friends are not into comics, and the ones that aren't really, well, maybe they would be. But I don't know if they'd be interested in doing something like this. Okay, so what issue was this guy? So I'll go through them first. This one's hard to tell because it's not technically Batman and Son #1. It's actually Batman. I want to say like 4 something or 640 something. No, 430 would been back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. This, well, yeah, duh, because Batman 500 was in the 1990s. That was part of the Nightfall series. Okay. Green Lantern, Black Stars, and finally Klaus. Now, what's the theme? Grant Morrison. He wrote all 3 of these books. And when I picked 3, because the good, bad, and the ugly, one's good, one's bad, one's ugly. But not necessarily for these books. So let's start with Batman and Son first, since I have this out already. I'm just gonna call it Batman and Son #1. Now it starts out with Commissioner. I said it wrong. Commissioner Jordan. Jesus. Commissioner Gordon being Jokerized, like he's he laughs. That's what Jokerized means. He has like the Joker laugh, and he's all crazy. I don't know if that happened in last issue. I think that was just kind of like a cold open, like, oh, here's what's going on. And then there's a nice little splash page. All of these books have damn good artwork. So it's going to be hard to pick an ugly. And Batman stops him. Where he looks like he almost kills him. It's kind of funny. In the Joker kind of way. But he doesn't. But he's doing like the caring thing like he does what he did with Robin back in the day. Spoilers, Robin does die way back in the day. For a comic that was super old, and I think all of you know this by now, I feel. At least a good amount of you, at least the ones who are watching. Okay, and then he visits Commissioner Gordon in jail. Then he goes through his day. Then he's talking to Alfred, and Alfred's like, hey, you need to, you're because he's, alter egos. Your alter egos are meshing together, and you're becoming more Batman than Bruce Wayne. And it's like, okay, I'll take a vacation. And like, oh, Commissioner Gordon wants me to do this, and you want me to do that. So it's connected to best of both worlds type dealing. Then we go to this other character who's being held at not gunpoint, but heroin point by needle point by who will be revealed as Talia al Ghul, and holding her for ransom because she wants like this serum. Actually, no, because what did she do? No, yeah, she injects him, and she wants her own little serum, which is kind of ironic. She wants like to, initially wants to turn to Man-Bat or something, but she wanted it from Man-Bat, and Man-Bat is that girl's husband. And then, meanwhile, Alfred and Batman are going to Bruce Wayne are going to a party, and already Man, wow, that's his. Damn. I thought they were at the party already, but that's his house. Man, I know he's a billionaire. At least in this. Continuity. It's not currently, apparently. And then it's a pretty short book. And then we just meet Damian Wayne and Talia al Ghul, and then that's it. Because the rest of this is the DC Essentials Edition reprint. So at the end, you get a bunch of hey, here's some DC trades. Give us your money. Thing at the end, and it is nice. I kid when I say give us your money. Of course, it's I kid when I mean like oh, give us your money. We want your money, nothing else. Obviously, I'm partly joking, but I mean almost all of these are good ones that are in here. So that one I'll get to later. And then let's do Green Lantern Black Stars. I had no idea what happened in this book. There was just like these alien characters that want something, and then there's this Green Lantern person, and his Parallax, and then he's talking with his love interest, and then the book ends. It's like a lot of shit happens. More than that, just it's weird. Then finally, Klaus. Now this, when you hear, oh, this is the origin of Santa Claus, you think of the animated Netflix movie. This is not that. At least I don't think it is. This is a kind of down-to-earth, medieval times. Like, it's very Game of Thrones, Lord of the Ringsy. Like, not like, of course, there's no like sex and nudity like that. Not shit like that. But I mean, like, it's back in the olden days, and like it's medieval and shit. Not medieval. Medieval is not what I'm saying. It is not that one. It's, you know, not that. Not what I'm trying to say was. So I had it so good the first time. I got interrupted. So he's going somewhere. He's on a quest. I forget exactly where he's going to. He's going to this town. And he wanted to go back to town. And he notices like it's all like run down and it's dark, desolate, and dreary. And then he's like asking around like what's going on. And I don't think anyone gives him a straightforward answer until he sees this boy with a stone. And these guardsmen are like, hey, give us a stone. You're not supposed to play with that. We need it for this kid. No, they don't say that yet. And then Klaus is like, it's only a toy, and it's only a stone, not technically a toy. And the guardsmen argue with him, and then like, give the stone. And it's like, oh, what the hell is going on with this place? And then I think this guy's talking. He talks like a weird robot voice, because that's what they do when they want to show that it's a different voice than normal. They're doing shit down there. And then he fights the guardsmen, kills them all, I think. Oh, no, they beat him up, I think. Because, yeah, you see him getting beat up. Never mind. But it looked like... Oh, he tries... Okay, so he gets beat up. Then he runs off, because he doesn't want to get killed, obviously. And the guardsman's like, find him, or whatever, and... Now we're... Oh, and they find him, and he has this... And this character comes out of nowhere, but he calls his little wolf buddy, and then he attacks him, and they think they run off, because I don't think they killed them all. That's the only thing that was pretty confusing about this book. This was definitely the most confusing. Grant Morrison is known for being a bit confusing sometimes, and this is definitely... That was definitely the most confusing part. And that's saying a lot, because Grant Morrison could have been way more confusing. And then we meet the boy's father. The reason why he wanted all the toys taken away from the kids is because there's this brat character and the father, who's a like scary-looking guy. But I think like the father's either rich or powerful or both or something like that. I don't think it was wholly explained. But yeah, it was that's what's going on with that. And meet his father and his mother, and I think the mother kind of the mother was like, because the son destroys this really cool little play set, and because he's all mad that he like, oh, this is rubbish, it's all rubbish, I'm bored with it, I'm gonna destroy it. And I think it's because he's lonely, and he's kind of acting out because he's lonely. And the father's like, oh no, all the kids are diseased because they're starving, because they're starving too, because they give all the food to this family. So I guess it must be all powerful, right? Sure. I think he when he says, "Oh, like they just want to see us to be happy and proud and thrive and see the better of this community." So I think it's kind of like that thing. Like they are corrupted and everything. They corrupted the townspeople, if anything, or the townspeople are just stupid, corrupted themselves. And then really neat, real nice little splash page. He's fighting this like deer monster back with Klaus, female Klaus. Then he sings and he says this little tune with his friggin' wolf pet. And you get this awesome little splash page. And then this really nice, I wouldn't technically call it a splash page because there's like word bubbles, and usually the splash page only has like a few, like, you know, this is a splash page. You know, it's like one thing right here. This is different. But yeah, like awesome coloring there. Like the colorist should have gotten a raise. I hope the colorist got a raise and at least got some recognition for that. And then like a beautiful like little sunset. This definitely has the best artwork out of all the Grant Morrison books. And then he finds out, and it obviously all spoilers. I'm telling you what's going on in these books. And then he finds out that while he was sleeping, apparently he's confused, that he created all these toys, and that's, you know, how Santa Claus got started. And this is the first issue. I already solicited the trade interlibrary loans. So yeah, that was good. I like that one. So obviously I liked it. That's what I was trying to say. So now that I told you about what was sort of, not this one, was in each of them, again, except for that Green Lantern one, which one's the good, the bad, and the ugly? Well, this one is definitely the worst one. So this is the bad. Now for the ugly, I mean this has the best artwork, but I can't really pick an ugly. But yeah, this is bad and ugly. It's stupid. It's boring. It's all the worst parts of Morrison, and had it not been for those two books that Batman and Klaus I read, I would have probably already have sold that Invisibles and Doom Patrol omnibus. But Doom Patrol I know is going to be good, because I read that way back in the day. But Invisibles I know nothing about. Except for the plot, obviously. I know a little bit about the plot. I just know it's really damn good. Which is why I got it. So, between these two, I guess I like this one a little bit more, because this one's, they both flow really well, because this one I read all in one sitting, and usually I don't do that. Usually I take breaks to to remember. Oh yeah, I had to write this down in my notes on my phone, like for books I forgot they interloaned, or to write down. So what I have to do is I read so many books per day. Is after or while I'm reading the book, I have to write it down. Like I have to write down Batman. I read Batman today, and then I read this today. And I do it as I'm reading it, obviously, not after. I mean, I have to do it after for these two, but I sometimes will forget. Like it's good to keep track of the books I'm reading per day. I delete them at the end of the day, obviously, but no, tomorrow these will all be gone, obviously, on my phone. But that's just a nice way to keep track of how many books I read per day. I like to keep it at 10. It's 10, it's 10 of these, really. So it's, I mean, when you see the trades, it's like, wow, 10 of those? No, I don't read a whole trade in one day. Unless it's that Miles Morales book. I know I'm over-explaining things. Alright, so these both are good, and this is the bad, and the ugly. I'm gonna break the rules and do that. So these are good. I guess you could say this is the ugly, because compared to these two, this has the worst artwork. But it's only because this has such damn good artwork. And the best part about this book is I have the trade. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep reading this story and not read Batman Incorporated Volume 2, because Batman Incorporated is after this, and I feel like I should read this first. I should probably do that instead. But cause I already forget what happened in Batman Incorporated Volume 1, like what happened at the end. So what's the friggin' point? I mean, I'm not gonna reread it, obviously. But yeah. So yeah, these both were good. This was terrible. I'm not reading issue 2. Second time I gave it a second. Actually, I gave second chances to all 3 of these. I'd read all 3 of these before. So this one I'm not glad I gave second chance to. I almost wish I hadn't read it, but I had to read it because I want them to be... I have a lot of Grant Morrison trades and, of course, the omnibuses, but I wanted them to all be like floppies like these. So I had to pick Black Stars because that was the only Grant Morrison one I had. I think. I hope. Yeah, this one was the worst. And then these 2 were good. I can't pick an ugly unless you count this as being bad and ugly. And the artwork in this was really good. So when I think of ugly, I think of like ugly artwork. And the artwork was actually pretty good. And it was kind of just regular DC artwork. But it wasn't terrible, obviously. But they didn't add for Doomsday Clock at the end. Which I really hope Doomsday Clock I enjoy. But yeah, that's it. I recommend, obviously, the Klaus and Batman Tyke. I keep saying the same things. Let's get end the video.